Good evening, everyone. Very nice evening to you. A very warm welcome on a very cold and dreary evening here in London. So glad that so many of you was able to join us tonight. So I'm going to see if I can share the screen, and I hope someone's going to shout and tell me if you cannot see the screen. So I'm going to try and share just a couple of slides with you. Can everyone see an F45 45-day challenge slide?
Yes, we can.
Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you, Tom. So let me turn up my sound. So what I'm very keen to do in the next 20 minutes or so is to try and explain to everybody here what is our F45 45-day challenge. We finished the challenge a couple of weeks ago with some great results, and I'll share some of that with you. What I'm hoping to do here in the next 20 minutes is take you through what is the challenge, what will you get from the challenge over and above coming into our studio, which a lot of our members are already doing anyway. So what additional will you get from this? And we'll try to showcase some of those different elements of the additional pieces in the challenge that you will get. In the current context, in the current climate and environment, as we all know, we listen to the TV and we hear the news, and it's kind of gloomy. We have a lot of restrictions. We're not allowed to socialize with friends indoors. We can't go around to the houses. We can't visit people. There's lots of stuff that we can't do. So for a lot of us, we're stuck at home doing Zoom calls like this all day, every day of the week. Our living room becomes everything to us. And it's difficult to get out of the house, and it's difficult to get physical as well as any kind of mental challenge or stimulation. And these F45 challenges, maybe more than previously, provides a great outlet to test yourself, challenge yourselves, give yourself something over and above work and family and friends, you know, to jump out of bed in the morning and go after trying to achieve something and really trying to improve and better ourselves and test ourselves. And this challenge is not only about the physical elements. What we find is there can also be an awful lot of mental benefits and community benefits in getting to know an awful lot of other people. So with that context, let me see if I'm going to be able to work these slides effectively. So for those of you that come to the studio and see me and know me, you might be a little surprised to see some of these photographs. I just wanted to take a quick second to share a bit of my own personal story and why the challenge is so meaningful to me. These photographs are anywhere between 4 to 7 years ago. I used to weigh 93 kilograms. I used to be 35% body fat, and I used to not be in particularly great physical and certainly occasionally in mental place. I used to work in corporate environment, and I ended up looking like this, which is all fine and wasn't particularly challenging. What I found was when I done some health checks, which we got every year through the company I worked for, my visceral fat was particularly high. My cholesterol levels were quite high to the degree that I was given some advice to change diet, do more exercise, and try to find ways to reduce the cholesterol. And while I would endeavor to do spinning exercises, various exercises at home, and I used to think I was reasonably active, I couldn't shift any weight and nothing really changed. Until two things really. My lovely wife educated me an awful lot on all things nutrition, and we'll get into talk a bit about nutrition in this conversation. learned an awful lot more about what you eat, what's good for you, what's not, how I personally would be different to some other people and how I should be adapting what I eat and how that made a big difference. And then also getting into some regular exercise that would be fun, that would be engaging. And through my wife, we got to discover F45. And from doing a workout maybe on a Saturday, occasionally on a Sunday, each week, to into 6 days a week on a regular basis, and enjoying it, loving it, and even feeling some stress about not going to the 7th day with F45 workouts. So through this kind of journey, I've been able to reduce my weight by about 25 kilograms, now into the high 60s. From the last challenge, I weighed in at 69 kilograms, which is down from 93. And I got down from 35% body fat to most recent, well, the lowest I was last year was 9% body fat. So it's been quite a journey. And the key thing for me is I have learned how to do that for myself. I've learned how to do that in a sustainable manner. And I've learned to do it in a way that I enjoy, both in terms of what I'm eating, how I'm exercising, and the mental stimulation that I get from all of that. And probably the other thing is how good I feel and how much more confident about myself I feel from having achieved those kinds of things. I still like to challenge myself and push myself a little bit. So that's a bit of a journey that I've been on, and that's why these challenges are so personal to me, that I love to see other people hopefully benefit a little bit like what I have gained from. And certainly part of mine and my wife's mission in F45 Highgate is to help people achieve whatever goals and objectives that they have. This little image I thought was useful as part of this conversation with the F45 challenge. So a guy pushing the car. Push a car is very, very difficult, even take the brake off. It's very, very hard to move. The real story behind this image is that it takes an awful lot of effort to get the damn thing to start moving. Once you begin to get it moving, you build momentum, you build a bit of speed. And the more speed that you pick up, it becomes easier to push, to the degree if you push it across the car park, to get it at the end of the car park, it's really easy to push it. In fact, you hardly need to push it at all. It's probably pulling you. But the very beginning of this takes an awful lot of effort and an awful lot of strength. And this is where I see the F45 challenge is to commit yourself and to get your foot through the door into our studio at the beginning of the challenge is the most difficult part of what you're going to do. And if you can take those first couple of steps, I promise you it'll get easier. So that's the moral of that little cheesy slide. My goals, and I don't want to dwell too much on this, so I done the last challenge. I threw myself right into that, and I've listed down here some of the goals and what I achieved. And I didn't achieve them all, by the way. But the goals, and everyone's goals, tends to fit into a couple of different areas. So it tends to fit into losing body fat, increase muscle mass, trying to reduce your visceral fat, and going after some kind of nutrition goals. Some people have got some other mental goals, some socializing, community-related goals. There may be other related things, but those tend to be the core things. I managed to lose a little bit of body fat. More importantly, I increased my muscle mass, the one in the middle left-hand side. And importantly, I brought my visceral fat down again. It was already at a good level. Anything below 10 is pretty good. I managed to reduce my visceral fat down from 4 to 3. Your visceral fat is the fat that sits inside around your tummy, that surrounds your vital organs, your liver and your kidney, for example. And a high visceral fat there can be very, very dangerous to your health. I went after some very specific goals, and we'll talk a little bit about goals in this conversation. So just to give everyone a little bit of flavor, these are the kind of goals that I went after. Eating clean, regular food on a Monday to Friday. Saturday and Sunday, I was able to do whatever. I tried to increase my strength, and I picked out 3 exercises to try and increase over the 45 days from the current level up to a higher level that was roughly 20 to 30% heavier, to give myself the chance to increase my strength. One of the goals there would be to increase the muscle mass. So I said I'm going to do every resistance class with F45 over that 6-week period, which I did, which would then help me to strengthen myself, particularly in those exercises. And another little challenge that I'd done completely outside of nutrition and otherwise was to give up caffeine for 4 weeks, just to challenge myself and prove to myself that I could do it. More importantly, we had 2 winners from the last challenge. I won't call out their names, and they may be on this call, but the female winner, Miss DM, let's call her, and those that come to the studio regularly will recognize her. She had some remarkable achievements. Her and her husband came in right to the end, 32 days in a row, quite incredible, 32 days in a row, total commitment. She managed to reduce 5% of her total body weight in 6 weeks, 23% reduction of her body fat mass, and increased her muscle mass by 4%. And really importantly as well, managed to reduce her visceral fat levels by 2 percentage points. It was a hell of an achievement. That's one of the main reasons that she was our female winner. Our male winner, let's call him Mr. HM. Pretty cool photographs, I thought, but he managed to knock up a 6% reduction in total weight. Again, this is in 6 weeks, 1% every week. 32.5% reduction in body fat mass and a 2.5% increase in muscle mass. Again, quite incredible results in 6 weeks. And both of these individuals, it's a great testament to their accountability, to their intensity when they come into the classes, and to their own personal dedication in going after the goals that they challenge themselves with. So to get to the main details, what do you get on the challenge that's different than just coming in every day or a couple of times a week? So our members can do the challenge for no additional cost to the membership. Those on a monthly membership, those on a 10-class pack are welcome to join us. All you got to do is tell us you're going to come into the challenge. On the challenge, the first thing that you will do with us is to do a detailed body composition analysis. You'll step in Blue Track. We have a little office in the corner, and we have a machine in there. So you'll stand on that for a couple of minutes. It'll send some electrical pulses up and down your arms and your legs, and it'll give us a very detailed body analysis. Our team will then help you to interpret the results of that scan. You get a printout, and you get to take that printout away with you to pour over if you like. We'll help you to interpret the results, which is very important. But we then use those results as a baseline to discuss your personal goals, your personal aspirations. And based on those goals and aspirations, and they're your goals, they're not our team's goals, they're your goals, we will then use that kind of baseline data to help you define some personal goals. And we say these goals should be SMART, so quite specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-based. They may be 6 weeks, they may be 6 months, they may be 6 years, but at least let's make a start and let's take these first couple of steps, like that image of the guy pushing the car. We would like you to think about your goals into a couple of different buckets. We'd like you to think about some fitness goals, whether they will be you want to get fitter, so cardio-based, or you want to get stronger, so some strength-based stuff, and we'll help pick out some particular areas that you might be able to go after. So for example, can you do 200 meters on the rowing machine? And you can measure and track that over the 6 weeks. Can you bench press 20 kilos? Can you get up to 25 kilos over 6 weeks? Nutrition. Lots of people say, I want to lose weight. Well, how can you do that? What should you eat? We are not qualified nutritionalists, but we can give a few pointers. We can give a little bit of insight from our experience to help you along with that. And we're going to talk about the challenge app that will also help that with nutrition. Hydration is one that we overlook quite often. So how much did you drink? Caffeine and alcohol has a bearing in that. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about rest and recovery. And you may have some other goals that we want to talk about and see if we can help you to achieve. We will give you access to an F45 challenge app. I'm going to come to that. We have a couple of slides to talk about that. So I'm going to park that. A lot of you that come to our studio know our trainers. For this challenge, Jamie Shaw, who hopefully will be on the call, and Maddie will be our two lead trainers that are going to be actively participating in this challenge. They have their goals, they've got their objectives, they'll be on a WhatsApp group and chatting, and you can all keep up with them in terms of how they're progressing. But our whole team will be there to support and help you, push you where we feel that you need pushing, pull you back a bit if we feel that you're overdoing it, and be there to give you some advice and some support. To that point, we have an optional WhatsApp group. And we found in the last challenge, this worked really nicely. It's really good to feel, especially when a lot of us are working from home and we don't get to socialize. In fact, coming into the F45 studio is one of the few places you actually get to see other people and listen to music and have a bit of fun. But the WhatsApp group is a dedicated one just for this challenge. And if you choose to join our WhatsApp group, you will become part of a group of other challengers. You're also going through the pains, the challenges, trying to achieve their goals, giving up some things, feeling the pain and the hurt of coming into classes and doing a bunch of exercise. And it's nice to feel part of a community. And if you're able to share with that group the pains, the achievements, share with them what you're eating, what you're not eating, how you feel, how you're annoyed, how you're frustrated, whatever it is. And at the end of it, it's great to celebrate with the team, even virtually. And we find that that team training and that kind of group community makes a big, big difference. And if all of that wasn't enough incentives, and just achieving your own goals isn't enough incentives, we provide some prizes. We will have a male and a female winner as judged by our team of trainers, which will be based on the stats, but also a number of other categories: the intensity, the dedication that you've done, other goals that you've gone after and how you have achieved those, etc., etc. Everybody wins something, I can promise you. Everyone who completes the challenge will win something from us. And hopefully that whole sense of achievement in taking your first steps towards your transformation will also prove to be a good incentive over the next 45 days. So let me jump back into this. So the challenge app, anyone who's a member with us, we will give access to an F45 challenge app. And this app, if you're anyone like me last year, becomes your best friend for a long period of time. The challenge app is great to get some education. You get to learn a lot about nutrition. You get to learn a lot about lifestyle, wellness, mental well-being, all these different kinds of things. You can use the app to track your progress against your goals and how you're achieving that. And you can track it every day, every week. And as the weeks go by, it's nice to look back and see how you're progressing. It will, I mean, obviously you come into classes to train. It also provides you some ability to watch some playback on demand classes. And probably the biggest one for me anyway was the eating. It's got a lot of nutrition, library, meal planning, recipes, shopping list, etc. So if you want to follow a meal plan to help you achieve your goals, then this app is a real good benefit for that. What you would do in this, by the way, is you use exactly the same login, username and password as you use for the F45 GlowFox app that you use to book your classes. And I have a couple of slides. I really don't want to dwell too much on this. one of the key bits of the app is that you can learn, read the blogs, read the vlogs, watch the videos, check out some recipes, experiment with some things, track your goals. One of the things in the app that's quite interesting, but also our body scan will provide some input in this, is your BMR calculator. And I'm just wondering, is Jamie on the line? Jamie, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm in the call.
I'm wondering, Jamie, if you would like to take a couple of minutes just to explain what BMR actually is and how the activity levels influences that.
Yeah, so if I'm going to scroll through quickly, just if anyone can't hear me, so if you can't hear me, just give me a wave and we'll hopefully be able to get some better connection. All right, you'll see fine. So your BMR is your basal metabolic rate, and to put that in simple terms, it is the minimum requirement of energy that you need per day in order to function. So eat, sleep, breathe, move about, work, you name it, you do it on a daily activity basis, that is pretty much going to be the requirement of your BMR. You also have some additional factors in there, so your activity rate. If you're quite active on a daily basis, and that includes training, that your BMR will be slightly higher just to accommodate that. So in terms of looking on an aesthetics-based goal, and you're looking to either increase weight or lose weight, you'll be looking at that particular number and then correlating your daily intake of calories next to that BMR and also your active range of calories too as well. So to keep it in layman's terms, it's pretty much just the base amount of calories that you need on a daily basis. And then we'll use that in correlation to your diet. And then that will use a little bit more of a focus on your nutritional goals too. Paul, anything else that you want me to go over?
No, that's great. Thank you, Jamie. So when you do the body scan with us, the printout that you get off our machine will calculate for you what your baseline basic metabolic rate is, and it will make, using some algorithms, some calculations to determine what your activity-based BMR is. So as Jamie says, it'll give you an indication that if you want to keep your weight consistent, this would be how many calories or how much energy you should be consuming, taking the assumption how much energy that you're burning through the day. So in the consultation that you will have with us when you come in to do the body scan, we'll indicate that to you, and we'll maybe have a quick chat in terms of what that means in relation to your goals. Thank you, Jim. Right, and then eating. So on the app, lots of great stuff in here. As I said, if you want to follow a meal plan on a Monday to Sunday or a Monday to Friday, this will then give recipes for the day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, plus snacks. It'll give you the recipes, it'll give you the shopping list, so you can go to the supermarket, buy it all, meal prep on a Sunday, so you're ready for the whole week, for those that want to do that. If you don't want to do that, it'll give you some inspiration by going into a library of lots of different recipes. You can go and search. For example, I want to make some protein balls, or I want to make some smoothies, or I want to make some brownies, and you can tell what's going through my mind looking for desserts. And it'll come up with a list of different ideas, and you can pick and choose those and experiment and trial some things. And for me, one of the most important things that you can do on this challenge period is to experiment, try some new things. There's some things you'll try that you don't like. There's some things that you try and you'll love. There'll be some things that works for you and some that doesn't. So for example, before you come to a class, should you eat? Maybe you fast, for example, in the morning, don't eat before a workout, come early in the morning and try. What if you eat bananas? What if you, again, experiment with different kinds of food types. And this is a great opportunity, and the app is a great source of information to experiment, try some things, try to learn what works for you. On the subject of eating, is Hannah on the call by any chance?
I am, Paul. Hello. Can you hear me?
Good evening to you.
And see me?
I can see you and hear you loud and clear. Thanks, Hannah. So
Fantastic.
just to introduce everyone to Hannah. Hannah is our account manager for our food partner company, Fresh Fitness Foods. Again, anyone who's been coming into the studio over the past couple of weeks will have seen outside our door a couple of black food bags, which is always when I have had food delivered by Fresh Fitness Foods into the studio. They come early in the morning and they leave it outside our door, safe and secure. I come in the morning and I have my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, plus 2 snacks in a nice contained bag. I pick it up, put it in the fridge, and then when I'm ready, I stick it in the microwave and I'm set. And Fresh Fitness Foods has packaged up the foods that is relevant to me achieving my goals, and it's a very reasonable price, and I save myself an hour to 2 hours a day preparing food, going out shopping, buying stuff, and I know that that's very, very clean food. And I strongly encourage anyone who wants to experiment with, healthy, clean nutrition, good wholesome food. Fresh Fitness Foods is a wonderful avenue to go with, and we do have a very good discount through our partners. So perhaps I'll hand over to Hannah to explain what you guys can do for us during this challenge.
Thanks, Paul. Yeah, hopefully you can hear me okay. And the signal's okay. But yeah, thank you so much for the introduction. Yeah, so we've actually, as you may not know, we've teamed up with F45, and we've actually worked with HQ to come up with a specific F45 plan for both women and men with vegetarian options as well. And essentially, as you kind of said, it's like super healthy, but actually tasty food that's delivered to you daily. And the main thing, I guess, is saving you quite a bit of time, especially if your goal is weight loss. And the last thing you kind of want to do when you come home is, get the energy to go shopping and prepare and stuff like that. When you've got the food ready there for you, it makes things a lot easier. That's not just for me, but from a lot of people that have used the service have said that. So yeah, so obviously it saves you time. And I guess really it's just keeping you consistent and helping you get better results ultimately. I've worked with the company for 2.5 years now, and like the menu just the menus just getting better and better. So but I'm gonna actually get some snacks sent to you guys so that you can actually taste it. So for anybody that hasn't tasted it, try and get your hands on a little snack so you can taste it for yourself. But yeah, so it comes with 3 meals, a snack and a shake. There's a few ways that you can order. So you can actually just go straight onto the app and just go into just go into like the food section there. You can follow a link which I will send to you, Paul, and you can circulate it in the WhatsApp group. Or if you would like, David and Paul have got my email address. So if you actually want to kind of have a nutrition call with a nutritionist like myself, and actually kind of talk about maybe some more personalized information, then you can also do that and I can help you process it that way. So yeah, it's £30 a day. That's for 3 meals, a snack and a shake and delivery. And it's a low commitment, so you only have to order 5 days at a time. And like I say, it's a daily delivery, so you're not having to store loads and loads of meals. It's all freshly prepared. So yeah, and obviously you can get it delivered to the gym. So if you have a morning session, you can get it delivered to you with your food, Paul. But yeah, if you've got any questions, obviously just let me know at the end, or I'm more than happy to for you to send my email, Paul, and people can get in touch.
Thank you, Hannah. So
I just want to note one last thing. Sorry, it is gluten free. As to say, it's gluten-free, by the way, if anybody has a gluten intolerance, and we can do, and it's also sustainably packaged, just in case, because some people ask about if it comes in plastic and that sort of thing.
And Hannah, you have a couple of different food choices, right? There's vegetarian, pescatarian, I think, right?
Yes. sorry, Paul, it's my internet's a little bit unstable. So yeah, we have a vegetarian option for the F45. If you have anything like if you're Muslim, for example, we can also make sure there's no alcohol and no pork, and obviously halal. And if you've got any other intolerances or allergies, then it would be better to get in touch with someone like myself so that we can sort you out with something a little bit different. But yeah, we can, generally speaking, fussy people like David.
Absolutely, very, very.
He's gonna be like, I'm not fussy.
I'm not fussy in the slightest. I'll eat anything.
I knew that was coming.
But only when it comes to food, then David is very fussy. Except for those chocolate brownies, David, they are something else.
That's one thing I have to say. It's worth getting Fresh Fitness food just for the cauliflower brownies.
Yeah, so I can add from personal experience, and I've already signed up to get the food delivered Monday to Friday for the coming 45 days as well. So I'm personally a big believer of it. Also, the convenience of it is fantastic. I mean, when I was working in the corporate world, I wish I had this. It would be fantastic to get food delivered to your door. So when you wake up in the morning, it's there for you. As Hannah said, if you so choose to do so, you can have it delivered here to the studio and you can pick it up when you come here, up to you. And probably for me, one of the big differences why Fresh Fitness Foods is a superior food preparation and delivery company, or food preparation company, is that they have teams of qualified nutritionalists. So you can have some individual consultation if you really need to do so, but Fresh Fitness Foods is already on the F45 Challenge app. So if you click into the food and the food delivery option, it'll go straight through into Fresh Fitness Foods. If you use this discount code, FIRST25, you will get 25% discount off your first week. We had a couple of people do Fresh Fitness Food on the last challenge, and again, the success was really good. While the menu, you don't really have much of a choice in terms of what you get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Again, that experimentation and that learning and educating yourself with lots of different food types, this is one of the best sources that you can get in terms of food prep and healthy, clean eating. So, thank you, Hannah. So if I move on to the last slide, I promise, and then I am going to open up for some questions. It's a fantastic graphic here. We've got a top class athlete here posing, saying that they survived the F45 challenge. What happens now? So if you have an interest in throwing yourself into the next 45-day challenge, we would ask you to book yourself in for a body scan and consultation. In the same way that you book classes with us, you will find Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we have several 15-minute slots. There isn't too many of them, and they are getting booked up quite quickly. And we've already got 23, 25 odd people that have told us that they're going to do this challenge. So it is quite a popular one before Christmas. Book yourselves in for a consultation. If any of those times don't suit, or you're not able to get the times that you want, tell us in the studio or drop us a note on Instagram DM or an email or a WhatsApp, and we'll see if we can figure out a convenient time, mid-morning, mid-afternoon, before evening classes, if you're able to come in for 15 minutes and do the consultation. It needs 15 minutes, so we're not going to do it in between classes, and we're not going to do it after a class because you're heavier and your weight and everything gets a bit skewed. So book yourselves in or tell us and we'll get a body scan done. If you can't make it before Monday, by the way, it's okay. We can do a body scan Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. I'd encourage you to think about specific goals. And when you come and do the scan with us, we will challenge you on those goals to be specific in a way that we can measure how you're progressing week to week, over the 6 weeks, over 6 months, even beyond that. Are they achievable? Are they realistic in the current environment? Saying that you're going to give up alcohol for 6 weeks, I mean, honestly, do you think that's sensible and achievable, for example? And make it time-based, 6 weeks, 6 months, whatever it is, and let's work towards achieving those goals. What we don't want to hear is, I want to lose weight. What we want to hear is, how much weight? How are you going to do that? What exercises are we going to focus on? And David in particular has done a really useful video where he himself went in and done a bit of a fitness test, 6 exercises that encourage anyone to have a look at, and do it at the beginning of the challenge and then do it at the end of the challenge, and see, have you been able to progress and improve your performance by maybe 15-20%. And David's going to post that on our Instagram feed, I think, in the next couple of days or so. So I encourage you to watch that for some ideas. You would tell us as part of that consultation if you want to opt into the WhatsApp group or not, up to you. And we'll add you into that. And then we'll encourage you to log into and start using frequently the F45 Challenge app, available in your app store of choice. And then agree those SMART goals with us. We want to know what your goals are so that week to week, we can be helping you and pushing you towards achieving those. We want to try and consult a bit with you. And at the end of it, we want to help you celebrate the achievement and the progress that you've made towards achieving those goals. And so with the F45 Challenge, it's the opportunity for us to get started one step at a time, moving that car and building a little bit of momentum so that we can build up a bit of steam and really try and achieve those results. So that's really the end of our slides and our presentation, and we would be happy to open the floor if anyone had any questions, concerns, or thoughts over what we had presented. And before I open it up at that point, we will be sharing these slides and also the Fresh Fitness Foods pack with everyone probably tomorrow, and we're recording this and we'll post this on our Facebook and our YouTube channel as well. So anyone for any questions or concerns?
I have a question, Paul. I'm going home during the very last week of the challenge. Like, I think it's the 1st of December. So I'll miss the very end. When do you do the kind of weigh-ins at the end?
Nice question, Sophia. And I can't believe you got home and showered so quickly after doing that class.
I know.
So this is quite a common one. I mean, life gets in the way, right? Who has 45 days that you can just dedicate to do this? We don't. That's okay. Build that into your goals and into your plans. It might be on nutrition or some other goals that you're able to continue doing that while you're away. If you want to do the final weigh-in and scan and check up on your results before you go away, or if you want to do it when you come back again, we're very happy to accommodate any of that. You tell us.
Okay.
So it might not be 45 days, it might be 40 days for you, might be 35 days, might be 55 days. You tell us. Point is, have some goals, challenge yourself, work towards those, and then celebrate when you get to the end of it with whatever your achievements are.
Okay.
Good question. Thank you, Sophie.
Thanks.
Right, I think we've put everyone else to sleep at this point.
No, it's all good, Paul. Well done. Well presented, and thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Tom. Looking forward to going through this with you and talking about some goals. I'm happy to share, and actually when you come in for consultation in the room, we've got a whiteboard. We've listed out a whole bunch of goals to give a bit of idea and inspiration, so you can pick and choose how some of those ideas to get you thinking. Doesn't always have to be about losing weight. And perhaps just on that subject, just to pick on Jamie a little bit, and Jamie and Maddie are going to take a charge in this. Perhaps Jamie, are are you able to share some of your initial thinking about what your goals are going to be for this 6-week challenge?
I've still got to nail these down. I've got a good few at the moment, but having a particular nail on it. So I need to still get my weight sub 80 kilos. I'm about 2.5 kilos off. So for those that haven't really followed what I've been doing recently, I was at 92.7 kilos. I'm now down sub 82.7, so that's a 10 kilo drop already. And I just need to go a little bit further to reach my goal line, which is going to be 80 kilos. Once I've hit 80 kilos, then it's going to be a flip reverse, and I'm going to go back up with my weight, but in lean muscle mass. I just need to look as accurately as possible as to what I think I can achieve in 6 weeks. I will have some performance goals. So one of my performance goals is going to be able to do 20 strict pull-ups in one go. I will also have another goal that is going to be performance-based, and that will be for push-ups, which is going to be 50 unbroken push-ups in one go. And the reason why I'm using those is that whether I can maintain a training regime at a gym or not, I should be able to do these exercises regardless. If, for example, something happens, I can't get to the gym for whatever reason, I can still do this at home. There are a few lifestyle goals as well that we'll be having, and one will be to completely flip my training around from predominantly cardio to at least 4 sessions a week utilizing weights again. So I haven't done any official weight training since March of this year, so that's been a big break. So bringing that back in is going to be something that's going to be pretty new to myself. So there are a few goals, but I just need to whittle down exactly what I think I can do in 6 weeks, and then I'll have them on paper.
I think if your goal's to do 20 pull-ups, Jamie, mine's going to be to do 1. So
One it is, 1 strict pull-up, right, with no bands, Sophie.
we'll give it a go.
There you go, like your style. Maddie, perhaps one of your goals is going to be to get through an F45 class without dancing.
That will be hopeful.
Be able to share any of your initial thoughts about what you're hoping to achieve?
Yeah, so I was thinking one of my goals for performance-wise, I'm going to try and get through a whole F45 using only the black weights, so black kettlebells or black barbell weights. And then my other one, aesthetic-wise, I'm going to try and drop body fat percentage. So I'm sitting at 23% at the moment. We're going to try and get down to maybe 19%, maybe 18.5%, just so I can get nice and lean before Christmas and then enjoy the whole of December. But yeah, that's my goal at the moment.
Nice one, thanks, Maddie. And David, while you're out there enjoying yourself in Cyprus, I think it is, you've listed out some pretty interesting goals.
Yeah, and I think one of them is getting the balance back. I've obviously been putting a big shift in at the studio, and I think it's not enabled me to do some of the stuff that I enjoyed doing outside of it. So not even just fitness related for this challenge for me, it's about finding that balance back. Obviously exercise is a massive part of that, and exercising along with sleep, nutrition is going to help me do the other stuff. But I think it's just finding balance across my whole diet and lifestyle. So when you're thinking about setting your goals, yeah, it's cool to have a 6-pack or aspirations of doing it or trying to hit a fitness goal, but have a look wider picture, look at your whole lifestyle and try and build that into it as well.
Excellent, thank you, David. Good, so I'm going to leave it there. If there isn't any other questions or thoughts this evening, let's wrap it up. So again, I encourage you to book in some time with us, get that 15-minute slot, whether it's in the time slots we've allocated or separately to that. Any other questions, thoughts, concerns, ping us a note, talk to us in the studio. We're looking forward to kicking it off on Monday or as soon as you can, and looking forward to achieving some impressive results before Christmas and giving ourselves all something to do while we're all in various states of government restrictions. And another little heads up for those that don't know, next Saturday, Halloween, the 31st of October, we have a special party going on in the studio, because where else are you able to get dressed up in some fancy dress, listen to some music, be safe though with your fancy dress. We're going to give some prizes for those that come down with some appropriate but fun fancy dress for our Hollywood session on the 31st of October, and we have a live DJ in the studio spinning some tracks for us. So that's one that's not to miss. So we're going to kick off the end of the first week of the challenge with a bit of a bang, and I'm looking forward to seeing as many of you there as we can. So everybody that's joined, have a nice evening tonight, and I can't wait to see you guys on the challenge starting from next week. Have a nice evening, guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, bye.
See you later.
Bye.